This is UN Squadron for the SNES. UN Squadron is a super fun shmup with great graphics, gameplay, and an awesome soundtrack. It was a very early release in the Super Nintendo library and also was one of the 3 games alongside Super Ghouls and Ghosts and Final Fight that Capcom released in the first year of the Super Nintendo's lifetime. Also, within the first year of the Super Nintendo, several shmups graced the system in its early days, and UN Squadron is easily one of the best, and is today's subject on SideQuest. For fans and collectors of retro video games, Capcom and the Nintendo were a match made in heaven, already boasting a number of successes, including the Mega Man series, their fantastic work on Disney titles like DuckTales and Rescue Rangers, and so much more on the NES. This winning combination found themselves with another hit on their hands with an early first-year Super Nintendo release called UN Squadron. Capcom previously had successes with their 1942 and 1943 games, which were vertically scrolling shooters. UN Squadron took a different approach as a side-scrolling shooter, and the results are fantastic. The game is fast, challenging, and looks and sounds amazing. Originally developed in 1989 as an arcade game titled Area 88, UN Squadron lets the player jump in the cockpit and choose between 3 pilot characters that are pulled direct from the Area 88 manga to save Aslan from the invading evil Project 4, for a fee, of course. The pilots are Shin, Kazama, Mickey, Simon, and Greg Gates. Each have their own abilities and upgrade paths, so choosing wisely will directly affect how your game plays out. UN Squadron is a game whose graphics have certainly stood the test of time. While it was one of the earlier titles released on the SNES, its quality rivals that of games at the very end of the SNES era. Backgrounds are unique and interesting, and excellent detail was put into the design of the various planes, ships, and special weapons, many of which are easily recognizable as their real-life counterparts. Enemies and bosses were also particularly impressive in this department. Most of the enemies you fight will be a flying plane, each with its own distinct, beautiful detail. Others will be firing on you from the water. Bosses are larger than life and more colorful than almost anything else in the game. UN Squadron starts with an important decision: who will you play as? As is often the case with things, each character carries a different set of strengths and weaknesses, so there is no one right answer for everybody. Once you've chosen your character and your first plane, it's time to get to work. Players are given 3 lives and 3 game continues. You'll quickly learn that not only is upgrading your airplanes and weapons cool, but it's actually necessary in order to get anywhere in this game. Upgrading is done between stages, where you're given the opportunity to buy new aircrafts as well as cool new weapons like lasers or napalm. Items get much more expensive as the game gets more difficult, so it's a good idea to continue upgrading the entire way instead of waiting until you are stuck. So how do you get money to buy all these cool new toys? You're a mercenary, remember? Sure, you're trying to save the world, but you're also being paid cold, hard cash every time you get closer to doing it. You'll make money every time you clear an area. Make sure to do all of the optional attack supplies convoy missions in order to maximize your earning potential. Controls are intuitive and easy to master. The D-pad controls your aircraft, and you can switch between your purchased active special weapons with the X button and fire them off with B. The standard fire button is Y. That unloads your Vulcan cannon onto enemies, and you can fire unlimited rounds with limited rapid fire. Holding down the Y button will rapid fire about 10 shots, so getting in a rhythm with your fire is essential. You can also change the button config in the options menu if you choose. Unlike many of its shooter peers who employ one-hit deaths, UN Squadron uses an energy meter. However, after one hit is a short recovery period. Get hit during this recovery period and you're toast. It doesn't matter how much energy bar you have. It's a nice feature that adds some exciting challenge and anxiety. And the cool thing is, when you die, you don't lose your power-ups. In between levels is the briefing room. Commander Sakai will let you choose between currently unlocked missions or side missions, and will also give you some insight into the chosen task or even provide tips on defeating the end boss. The ability to choose your path adds a great deal to the game, making it feel less linear. UN Squadron is admittedly pretty difficult, but boy is it a heck of a lot of fun. The vibrant settings and graphics, along with the fun side-scrolling shooting action, makes it extremely fun to play. And the element of saving up for and purchasing the vehicles and weapon upgrades you want feels distinctly modern. If you haven't already, I definitely recommend picking up a copy of UN Squadron and checking it out. Hey, thanks for checking out this video all about UN Squadron for the SNES. This game gets brutally tough, for me at least, and I wasn't able to beat it in time for this review. However, I'm highly addicted to it now, and I can't stop playing, and I'm sure to beat it here shortly. Anyway, if you've played this game, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments. How do you think it stacks up to some of the other great shmups on the Super Nintendo, like Axel A or R-Type 3? Also, if you've played it, did you beat it? We'd love to hear from you in the comments, and I'll see you next time on SideQuest.